7. Powerful body language moves. Every man must know to control any room. He was the kind of man no one noticed. When he entered a room, heads did not turn. When he spoke, voices around him grew louder, as if his words carried no weight. Inside, he wanted respect, he wanted influence, but no matter how hard he tried, he remained invisible. Then, one evening, something happened. He was sitting quietly in a crowded hall when another man walked in. This man said nothing. He didn't shout. He didn't even introduce himself. Yet every single person stopped and turned their eyes toward him. The air shifted. The silence grew heavy. How could this be? How could one man control an entire room without a single word? That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept replaying the moment in his mind, asking himself one question. What secret did that man know that I did not? From that day forward, his journey began. A journey to uncover the 7 powerful body language moves that could give any man unstoppable confidence and the ability to control any room. From that night, he became a student of silence. He watched leaders, speakers, even strangers in coffee shops. He noticed something others ignored. It was not always the words. It was the way they carried themselves. He saw the first secret in their eyes. The men who had power never looked down, never looked away. Their eyes were steady, calm, and full of presence. So he practiced in the mirror, forcing himself to hold his gaze. At first, it felt unnatural. His eyes would dart away, his body restless. But he kept trying. Then came posture. He noticed how powerful men never slouched. They stood tall, shoulders back, chest open, as if they owned the space around them. He tried the same. At first, he looked stiff, almost like a soldier. People laughed. Some called him fake. But deep inside, he knew he was changing. Then, the hands. Confident men never hid their hands. They moved with purpose, their gestures painting pictures in the air. He copied them, slowly, carefully. And for the first time in his life, someone stopped mid-conversation and actually listened. It was small, it was fragile, but it was the beginning of something new. The invisible man was no longer invisible, and this was only the start of his transformation. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. He carried his new habits everywhere he went. Every street corner, every meeting, every casual gathering became his training ground. When he walked into a room now, he no longer rushed. His steps were slow, measured, almost deliberate. And people noticed. Without a word, he was already commanding attention. He discovered another move, the pause. When others spoke fast, chasing their words, he waited. Silence became his weapon, and when he finally spoke, his words landed heavier, stronger, unshakable. Then came the smile. Not the nervous smile of a man seeking approval, but a calm, controlled smile. One that suggested he knew something others did not. That smile alone shifted the energy around him. Still, he tested himself. At a wedding, at a crowded market, at a business meeting, he stepped in like a quiet storm, and everywhere heads began to turn. Strangers leaned closer when he spoke. Friends asked for his opinion more often. He could feel it, the power of body language taking root inside him. But the real test had not yet arrived. Whispers spread of an upcoming event, a hall filled with hundreds of people, and for the first time, he wondered, would these 7 moves be enough to control not just a room, but an entire crowd? The night of the event arrived. Hundreds of eyes filled the hall. The young man, once invisible, now stood at the entrance. For a moment the old fear-wit spared inside him. What if they laugh? What if he fails? But then he remembered the gaze, the posture, the silence, the 7 powerful moves he had built, one by one. He walked forward slowly, each step steady, each breath controlled. The room grew quiet, as if pulled by an unseen force. When he reached the stage, he paused. He didn't rush. He didn't beg for attention. And yet, every single eye was on him. His shoulders were strong, his voice calm, his gestures sharp. He didn't shout, but his words carried power. Every move, every glance, every pause told the room who was in control. The man who once faded into the background now commanded the stage, not because of luck, not because of titles, but because he mastered the unspoken language, the body language that speaks louder than words. That night he proved a truth many men never learn. Confidence is not about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself. And with those 7 moves, he was no longer just part of the room. He owned it.